Let's see. We're going live right now. All right. Hopefully everything works out. God, I hope this works out, please.
All right, me
Hey,
too.
everybody. How y'all doing? Well, we gonna start doing something new. Hopefully, weekly. Every week we can do this. Uh, I don't know. This is our first time. I mean, it's been a minute since I've been on podcast, so I don't know how to act, and I never really. I mean, I hosted sometimes, but I didn't. I don't know how to host one. Really, to be honest, I don't know if we could even call this a podcast. I mean, it's just, I guess, a hangout. I don't
We're
know.
just having a chill hangout, I think, today.
Yeah. So this is Deemer.
Hello.
Say hi. Tell everybody. Like I put your all your links and everything. We didn't really prepare for this really that well, so we'll get better. I promise. Um, so I put all his links to his channels and to his Instagram and all that stuff. His Patreon. I put everything in this description and the thing. I guess we need to make up our own thing or something like that.
Yeah.
What's up, Banana? Thanks for stopping by. So introduce yourself, and how and everything, and just say hi. I guess I don't know.
All right. So, hi, everybody. I am Deemer. That is my real nickname in life since I was a kid. I am a tech guy, artist, father, husband, collector of 80s toys, He-Man, Star Wars, Transformers, and then just random knickknack things as well. Whatever I see I like that appeals to me, that is nostalgic. I love our nostalgia. I still think we lived the best era. We grew up in the best era. Fight me if you want. That's fine.
I know. I tell that to my wife every time. She was
Every
born in
single day,
'85.
every single time I hang out with my friends and we get in this like playful banter about what is the best era to have grown up in. And I still say like that 80s, 90s era was probably still the best.
Yeah.
So that's cool. Yeah, that's I got started basically just like a lot of us did. The cartoons really set it off. It was really novel to me. Being a quiet, alone child, I always aspired to wanting something that would take me away to another world in my own mind and just kind of get away. And when He-Man first came out, I was like blown away, like, wow, this is my universe, right? And then I was He-Man. I was Prince Adam, still trying to figure out how to get to He-Man, right? And then Transformers came out, and it was just a game changer. It was like, this is mind-blowing. And then as a kid growing up, I wasn't allowed to have toys or anything, so I'd have to live vicariously through my friends a lot.
Oh, wow.
And until I started like earning money on my own, then I would like ride my bike, maybe it's about a quarter mile or half mile to the local store. And I grew up in like a one light kind of town.
I
So,
know. Yeah.
so everybody knew everybody, and I'd have to say like, please don't tell my dad, like. So I'd like $5 would get me a He-Man figure, and it would just be the biggest thing for me back then. $5 was a He-Man figure. Imagine that.
Yeah. I miss
So
that.
I'd have to hide them and play with them quietly. And then like my mom would find them and she'd be like, don't worry, I won't tell your dad. It's fine. We'll play together kind of thing. So she became my buddy in like these, made up universes from the cartoons that I would watch.
Yeah.
And so those were primarily the two big ones as far as the cartoon goes. I got a little bit into G.I. Joe, but I never really collected anything G.I. Joe. So that's me in my growing up, and then on and off throughout my teen years and more adult years and stuff like that, I would start collecting more things and just building my collection over time. And funny story is when I got married, my wife, when she first came to see how I was living in my townhouse, she saw all these boxes in the garage. Like my life was packed away in boxes.
Mine is too.
Yeah, so I had like a one wall of Cheerios and cornflakes on like where I would have the freezer stationed, and then I had the other wall of just like Campbell's soup because that was my diet back then in my, early 20s, cranking up, like who I'm going to be and stuff like that. And so she's like, "What is wrong with you? Who eats just cereal and soup?" And then all the other boxes were like my life packed away because there was like a history of rough events that led up until that point. Family divorce and homeless. I was homeless for a while and stuff like that. So getting back on my feet. and just starting my life over. And then with somebody that I had loved for many years, she was my college sweetheart kind of thing. And
Mhm.
we reconnected and eventually got married and stuff like that. So,
Nice.
and on and off, she would tease me and tease me. And then she'd just be like, Nadeem, or Deemer, just stop living your life in boxes. Just take them out, enjoy your life. You're not getting any younger, And so she was a big motivator for me to
Yeah.
grab all the boxes out and start, displaying them. And then I started getting online into Transformers reviews because my daughter, she would watch them, like she would digest them like it was her job, and she's just
Nice.
so young, and
Very nice.
she's my little Transformers buddy. We've been to a couple of the cons now, and we've done the toy hunt thing and stuff like that. So, and I know, Banana, right? I mean, easy peasy, nice and cheap. And I'd sometimes, when I had an extra couple bucks, I'd throw in some ramen. So all good. And so yeah, so my daughter's actually my big, inspiration for these things, to get back into these things on a more like dedicated basis.
Mhm.
And it's a lot of fun collecting with her and hunting with her and stuff like that. And my wife is big
Yeah.
Shira and Gem and the Holograms kind of gal,
Oh,
so
nice. Yeah.
we have a lot of fun, like collecting and looking and stuff like that. As a family, it's really kind of just flourished into that. So we've been having a lot of fun. And took my wife with us to her first con as well at TF Con in Toronto
Oh,
this
nice.
last year. We had a blast. She had a blast. She kind of started understanding the Transformers community, like how open and just thoughtful and caring a lot of the people are. And that's one of the things that I loved about it. So, so yeah, I mean, that's a very compressed, story frame of
Yeah.
who I am, how I got into things.
That's
And
awesome.
I'll always be a kid at heart. I love this stuff. So,
Yeah, exactly. I wanted to, the couple people that are in here, do we sound okay? Do I sound all right? Like I said, about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I had crappy internet, and I was hoping. Luckily, it's been going okay right now, so I'm hoping everybody can hear me just fine. Deemer can hear me just fine and everything. So I just want to make sure everybody can hear us and everything. We'll work on it. We'll get better at this, but it's been a minute. I was on a podcast. Well, I guess I could talk about me. I mean, people already know me on my channel and everything. But as a kid, just like you, we're the same age. He-Man was my first love. And everything. Pause. But it was, He-Man was the first, cartoon that I watched and everything. Then G.I. Joe, I was really big into G.I. Joe. Transformers came along. I loved Mask for a lot of reasons. I had a lot of Mask figures. I remember Mask a
oh, cool.
lot. I had those and everything, but Transformers I love. But Transformers always just stuck with me throughout. So I stopped, around, when 86, 87 hit, I started getting, I was, becoming a teenager, girls and stuff. I quit collecting. I don't really call it collecting as a kid. Collecting, you just got stuff and everything.
Right, right.
So then about 2000, I've told the story a couple times. Pretty cool. I was in Walmart getting my oil change, and back then at Walmart, the toys were by the automotive stuff and everything. So I was walking through, and RID just came out, and I walked through, and I was like, "Oh, I remember Transformers." I mean, I kept up a little bit, when I was in the military for 8 years. And over in Germany, they had Beast Wars. Beast Wars just came out, or not just came out, but Beast Wars stuff was around that time and stuff. And I remember seeing Beast Wars, and it didn't, stick to me like it does now. I love Beast Wars now, but back then it was, cars and stuff and robots, like this stuff and everything.
It's a bit rough.
Yeah. So when I saw the RID stuff and they were cars again, and vehicles and stuff, and I started just picking up stuff here and there. And then I found eBay. eBay is the devil. I bought my first G1, which was Ultra Magnus, and it just went from there. Armada was a big kickoff for me. That's when I saw a Starscream in Walmart or something, and that's just where I started off right there. I am married. I have my wife. We are going to try. We try to have kids. We're going to still try, but I'm a little old right now. She's younger than me. She's about 10 years younger than me. So, yeah. So that's about it. I don't. I've been to several TF cons. I think I've been to every TF con on the East Coast and Midwest since 2014. Wow. Since they've been doing it in the States, because it started off in Toronto was when they started off, and then they came to the States in 2014. I've been to every one of those. I've been to one of the LA ones. I wish we go. I wish I could go to TFCon LA this year. Man, they got Peter Cullen's going to be there. He's doing better in health. I'm hoping he goes to Orlando because I'm definitely going to Orlando. But I'm hoping that he, stays in good health and everything. Frank Welker's going to be there. A bunch of G1. The 25th anniversary for Beast Wars, or the 30th. I'm sorry, 30th anniversary.
30th, yeah.
Is it 30th anniversary for Beast Wars? Golly, RID, I think is 2025, I think, or something like that. I don't know, but there's a lot of people that's going to be there. And but that's just basically me. I collect Transformers now, Fatu toys, and NECA horror stuff. I collect, like Jason, Freddy, all that stuff.
Oh, I love the horror stuff too. I'm a big old school MGM kind of horror guy.
Exactly. And then they announced they're putting out Jace because of licensing. With the Friday the 13th, they've been doing this forever. I wish they would just get off past this crap and make some new movies. But they got Jason Goes to Hell and Jason Takes Manhattan. I think they're doing 2 more NECA figures for them. They're going to put it under the game whatever thing under there, so they could do it without getting in trouble. So I'm excited for that. We're getting some more Friday 13th stuff and everything. That's cool because that's my favorite horror. It's Jason and everything. So
cool.
But yeah, I'm lightly breaking up. Am I breaking up? I'm sorry, y'all. It's better this time. I believe me. I've got on some live streams with a couple of people, and it was just terrible. I mean, it was really terrible. But I think this is better now. I hope it sounds better. But I guess we don't really have a laid out plan for this or anything. We'll probably just talk to a little bit, about you and everything. So, have you got anything good? I guess we could ask that first. Have you got anything, good the past couple of days or anything, or the past week or anything?
I'm excited every time I get blockies in. I'm like a little kid. I get so giddy when the blockies come in.
No, man. I got some blockies over here. I got this. I got to do some reviews for this one. This is the Defender versions with the Beast Wars. And it's got the rest of the Bruticus or the Combaticons. And I got the little Bruticus add-on, whatever, so I can do that. I got this too as well. Galaxy version 09 with the Unicron. Oh, can't wait to open these up, man.
Me too, man. I was thinking of having just a little live marathon where I just start opening all these blockies and doing them live.
Oh yeah,
like that'd be fun if we did something like that. Maybe.
Oh yeah,
that'd just be awesome. Kind of have a go at it and complete some blocky set because I have a ton still left unopened that I have to get through.
Now you do it with your daughter. I mean, you tell me all the time that you and your daughter.
We've done a ton. I even posted, I think, a video about it. One of my earlier videos was us doing blockies. There's a portion where we went out to the mountains when I had gotten really sick at one point and I was recovering. So we thought it'd be great to go to the mountains for a little bit, spend some time in the cabin. And I just had ordered all the Transformers blockies they had in stock to go and just do them. So that's what we did that whole trip. We had a lot of fun. We even got, my wife, who is instructions adverse and, building adverse, to come in and help with us and have fun. So we kicked it for that. And ever since then, we've been collecting all the Transformers blockies. And then I just recently got the Superman blockies to have fun with something else. So
nice. And speaking of bad things, Ultra Megatron that's the last one I was on his show, which we're going to do. We're doing another show later on. I think the 21st is that Ultra. It was bad. It was so bad, and that's when I was like, I gotta have to get different internet. So big shout out to Ultra Megatron. He's a really good dude. I'm gonna be on his show. I think the 21st or 23rd, one Saturday or something like that. We've been going back and forth and everything, so that's cool. But hopefully this is better. I still want to get you still can get better internet. I mean, I got a 1 gig. I think you get 2 gigs now, or I think there's a lot of and everything. But I'm excited for that. But yeah, blockies. I think I got in Thundercracker. I'm a blast to the show. I think everybody's found him except for me. BBTS. It took forever to get those, so I canceled my pre-order, and Amazon had them and everything. So I finally picked him up, and I got the Samurai Series Iron Factory Cheetor.
Oh yeah, mine came in last week too. I'm so excited about that one.
He looks
so
Yeah, he does. I'm liking the Samurai series. Some of them are it's hit and miss with me with them. But the Beast Wars has been pretty good. Black Arachnia looks good. The Primal and the Megatron. I got Megatron coming in from Show Z sometime and everything. And what else I get? I got that. Do you collect the Doctor Wu stuff?
Dr. Wu, yeah, actually, you're the inspiration behind my Dr. Wu collection and New Age. As far as me getting into
Nice.
the legend stuff, that's all
Yeah.
from watching your reviews and stuff. And because I think I spoke about it in my last video that basically I started out as just Chug and MP, and then the core class.
Yeah.
I was really big in the core class for a long time, and then when I started watching your videos a few years ago, then I'm like, what is this New Age? What is this Legends? What is it? Like Dr. Wu?
It's a rabbit hole. That's what it is.
Right. And so I'm like, man, this guy is, like New Age. He is Dr. Wu. So,
Yeah.
and I started collecting them. So, yeah, they're so cute, man. I just want to like leave them bowls of food and water everywhere and just watch them grow up. So,
they're awesome. I love New Age.
Yeah, they're fun. Yeah,
awesome.
New Age, man. I tell you, they can manufacture. Those guys, whatever they're doing on that scale, is hella impressive.
Yeah.
Like.
But I've been worried about Legends lately, man, because used to the golden age was around 2019, 18, I think, whenever we started getting Legends to like 2022, 23. It's been really lackluster with hearing news, and everything. Now we do have, TFCon coming up for LA for next month, so I'm hoping that we get some news. But Magic Square used to knock out a lot of stuff. Just give us previews. Iron Factory gave us like a whole year previews, and I haven't seen that in a couple years from them. We are still getting that Minosaur, which I'm really excited for that from the Samurai series and the Shockwave and stuff. But it's just been kind of they haven't been releasing a lot of stuff like New Age. The only thing we got left now, I think we got the rest of Dick. Who doesn't like some Dick and everything. Pause. We got Retgar, I think, coming. And I think that's the only thing the Stunticons. Hopefully,
yeah.
I mean they've been coming for a while.
That'll be pretty dope if they do the Stunticons.
Well, they showed some, a couple more pictures, so it's a prototypes and everything, but it hasn't been, a lot of new releases being shown, like because they got so much they could do. I mean, I really Scourge. I don't know why they haven't put out Scourge out to go with their Galvatron and their Cyclonus. A Wheelie. I think they've done all the mini bots except for Wheelie. They don't like for something they don't like the season 3 bots. We need a Hot Rod. We need a Rodimus. We need, I guess they do. We need a Cup. We need a Blur. I mean, there's so many we need from season 3, which we still, but it still needs stuff from season 1 and 2, but not as much. But season 3 is kind of we got a couple here and there. That's about it.
China is having issues with keeping factories open. I didn't know that.
Is that the reason? Oh man, well, that sucks.
Oh, neat. Huh.
Waiting for New Minosaur. Yeah. I'm sorry. If anybody has questions, y'all can ask questions. Hopefully, if I don't, miss anything, if you want to ask questions, for me or Deemer, just ask us. But yeah, what I was talking about was, like I said, Legends, and then, but we got new people coming along, Collector's Crafts. We got that cool, Computron, but then they went to Masterpiece. It's just like, what? Why are you giving us this freaking awesome Computron, and you didn't give us Abominus? It's like, what? And then now you're going to, and people are doing this, and it's not the Devastator Wars anymore. It's the Dinobot Wars now. Everybody's coming out combining Dinobots.
Yeah, and that could be because what Hasbro was leading in, maybe with their Dinobots coming out.
Don't do what Hasbro's doing. Do your own thing.
I know.
Everybody, I think, loves that Computron. Everybody, I didn't hear anybody say anything bad about it. There may be some little nitpicks here and there, which I had too. But as far as it was a great combiner. It reminded me of Iron Factory, to be honest. It reminded me of the Lyle Kaiser, the other ones. Just the build and the way they looked and they felt. It felt like it was Iron Factory.
Yeah,
I'm hoping it was. But I want to see more Legend. Robot Toys is doing Beast Wars. They're doing. I just got the Tarantulas. I forgot they got some others coming out. Waspinator. They got some other ones coming out too. But they're also they did a MP Scorponok, which was really great. It was one of my best top 10 last year. But I want them to stay the Legends. You were doing such a good job with Legends. Don't go over to MP. There's MPs everywhere. Everybody's doing
There
MPs.
is, and I just wonder if the market is leading them towards towards that or not. I have no
It's
clue.
possible. I bet, because I get comments all the time. I wish it was bigger. Giggity. But I hear that all the time. If it would be MP scale, I would get it. I'm like, all right, well, there's several Jazzes out there already for you. There's already several Optimus Primes out there. There's already several of this stuff. You have your options out there for a masterpiece.
Absolutely.
So I don't know. Yeah, Robot Toys got the Transmetal Optimus Primal.
Oh man,
I think DX9. What's that?
I'm so thrilled with Robot Toys, man. Their bots are really cool.
Oh, they're good. I mean, it's just I want them to keep doing it. And it's like, and then we got that mystery that Lightspeed. Somebody else is doing a Computron. It definitely looks like Magic Square. It could be DX9. DX9 and Magic Square work together now, anyways. But you can tell by the hands that was Magic Square hands. So I'm excited for that. But it's just like we're not getting as much news about Legends anymore as we used to, and it really sucks because I love Legends. Dr. Wu is just knocking out. Dr. Wu's got stuff coming out all the time. I got pre-orders from like 2 or 3 years on Show Z from Dr. Wu stuff. Just wait for them to come out.
Well, you're the Legends guy in my book, Deluxe. So do they go through cycles of like high and low periods, or did it used to be steady? Like I don't know because I've been collecting that long as far as like Legends go, but
yeah. Like I said, it started around, I want to say 2018, around that area, and it was high. I mean, it was New Age was, had something new coming out. They were basically like fans toys. They had, they said, we got stuff coming out all the time. And then Magic Square came along. I think it was Magic Square was first. They came out around the same time. I think Magic Square might have been before the first. I think Magic Square was first, and then New Age came along, Iron Factory, and so forth. It was really high for a while, but like I said, the last I want to say 2 or 3 years has been just mid. It hadn't been really low. I guess it could be low, man, but it hadn't been like it used to be.
Gotcha.
I miss it. I got stuff over here. And we got Robot Toys now, which Robot Toys is like they're in between. Like I don't want to have 14 different scales for Legends. Like
I think that's where we're at though, because I look at, for instance, like the Karakuri KKK, right? They're their own scale, but I love those toys. They're expensive, granted. And then you've got like, you've got these things, right? Like,
oh yeah, I'm on my way.
Oh man, she's. You know what? They've been knocking it out in my book. The past 4 figures for sure. They are all awesome. I have no complaints. Whatever they're doing, keep doing. Like because
you got the Tarn. I just got my Tarn.
Yeah, I'm fixing behind me back here, and nice. He in my book, in my opinion, he's the best one they've made as far as actually a manufacturing piece. He holds together. He's hefty. He's the right size. He's IDW through and through. It's only a handful of pieces, but he looks complex at the same time when you build him. I haven't had any damage or problems, so he's not my favorite character.
I got him over there. I got to review him. I got him on my table right now. And Chris was right. Yeah.
Yep.
DX9 was first. I forgot about War Pocket. They had the Headmasters, and they did a bunch of other like Scourge. They did Galvatron and a Cyclonus 3-pack. They did a bunch of other stuff. So I'm sorry. DX9 was first, but I want to say I didn't get into. I didn't really get into it with DX9. I got it when Magic Square and New Age were coming along around like there. So yeah, I remember that. But I do got Tarn. You got RC coming on, on the way. I think they showed off their Bumblebee, the AMK Pro Series with the, some die casting there.
Yeah.
Who else they got coming?
The Bumblebee Prime is coming.
Oh, is okay. Nice. Okay. Yeah. And there's some other stuff coming out. 3-0. I love 3-0, man. I'm waiting. I've had a pre-order for that lockdown, the DLX lockdown. I've had him on pre-order for like almost 3 years now. So finally he's coming out. I love I love everything 3.0. If I could start over, let me ask you that. If you, for me, I always say if I could start over collecting, because I collect a lot of stuff, I would start with 3.0 and New Age. If you could start over collecting, what would you? Because I mean, what would you start off? I mean, what would you start off as collecting?
Oh, that's a great question because I love the transforming Transformers, the Masterpiece scale. And so it's hard for me to let go of that. And I think that would always be part of my collection regardless. But 3.0, man, I'm blown away by them. 3.0 absolutely would always, I think if we were going back in time, it would have to be 3.0. It would have to be, the MP. I would still get the MP Takara Tomy stuff, because they are who they are. And arguments aside, they would still end up on my shelf. Oh, yeah. And then, so, you know what? And YOLO Park, man, if they were today's YOLO Park back then, 100%, I would still get,
man. That would be awesome.
Because right now, like I said, they're in a sweet zone and I love everything they're putting out and the details are phenomenal and the builds are cool. So, but you know what? Now knowing what I know, I think I'd still have a Legends shelf as well because they're so cool. They're so little and cool. You can't, so whether it's New Age or Dr. Wu or whatever, it would have to be, Legends or Micro Scale or, there's just so much good stuff out there that you could eliminate Chug, you could eliminate Core Class, the mainline stuff and just give me both extremes. So,
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So Miss Ashley asked, what has surprised you both on this journey? Well, I guess I can go first, if you don't mind. I mean, so I started off, like I said, it was around 2000, 2001-ish. And I was just me, and everything. Like I said, I got onto a podcast with a bunch of friends of mine called Shattercast Uncut and everything. So then, I got my nickname Deluxe and everything. And that's when it started really, going, and everything. And I started my channel back in 2016, around that area. It's been 10 years this year. I've just noticed that, it's just cool being, it used to not, you used to hide your, your fandom. You used to hide it, but now it's everywhere and everybody loves it and everything. But it was just going to shows and just people saying hi that you didn't, you don't know, like when I went to, when I started my channel and I started going to the conventions and everything, people just notice you and just say, hey Deluxe, I love your, I love your stuff and everything. And it just, it's really cool to see that. And just, there's some bad seeds in the, in the fandom, as always. There's every fandom, there's some bad seeds, but I try to stay away from those. I don't really try to go into the, especially I don't go on Twitter anymore, mainly Instagram, and I do Facebook too as well. But I don't get into people, I don't try to feed the trolls because there are trolls out there, and it's just, listen to them just talk. It doesn't matter. You're not going to change my mind. Not going to change your mind. Whatever 100%. And everything. And I'm sure you get some, comments sometimes. It's like,
oh, I've gotten some comments.
I'm like, what? I was like, sometimes I just, sometimes it's just, people make long comments and I just hit them with the, okay. Like, I don't, sometimes I don't know what to say. Sometimes it's like, all right, whatever. And then, just go about my business and everything. Some people just want you to, notice them, just to acknowledge them, just so they think they won, and everything. So I don't want to do that. Life is too short to argue back and forth with, with nerds. I'm just like, we're nerds, and I don't understand why people argue because we love the same thing. Why fight? If you like Bayverse, that's awesome. If you don't like Bayverse, that's awesome. I like them, if the movies are on TV, I will sit there and watch them. I don't care. I've watched Bayverse tons of times. A lot of people hate it, but I also love G1. I love everything, So I just like Transformers. So, but I guess that's my little journey, or surprised me, I guess. What's yours?
Yeah, so I think for me, what surprised me is the community that's around the toy collection in general, and like I was always called a nerd or a geek growing up, but for different reasons other than toys. It was usually for my academic prowess and aptitude and stuff like that. So my wife continuously, ever since she's known me, has always been nerd and geek and whatever, and I wear that as a badge of honor. But for my journey with this stuff, particularly ever since I started getting into the social media end of things, is the fascination of the community in their own pockets, right?
Oh
So
yeah,
there's so many pockets, and there's such die-hard collectors and fans. And like for me, I love the diversity of opinion and thought, and why, and people's whys, right? Why do you collect this, or why do you only collect a very specific limited kind of section of
I wish
the
I could do
universe?
that. Oh, I wish I could do that. God,
I couldn't do that. Yeah, I'm too in
I
love
got
with
yeah,
a lot of the elements. But like, I was
right.
watching this one guy, and he's a Batman collector, and he's got like so many, and his collection is amazing. And I'm just like baffled about like how just serious he takes it, the nature of his collection, and the specific items that he only collects and nothing else. And I'm just like, well, what about the rest of it? There's a
Yeah,
lot of cool Batman history, starting back to the black and white series is how I fell in love with Batman.
yeah,
And uh, uh, but yeah, I mean, that's for me the journey, and people like talking about it is what I like. When you go to the
yeah,
cons and you engage with people and you talk with them about, hey, what's your thing, what stimulates you, what keeps you going, what keeps you coming back here, kind of thing.
yeah,
And everybody's reasons for it, while they may be different, they all hone in on the topic itself and their passion and their love. And it comes down to an experience they had, maybe, that really just made them like hold on to it. There's so many Beast Wars fans that I've
yeah.
met, more in my adult past few years than my entire life collectively.
Yeah.
And I used to think I was weird for watching the show with the computer generated, and
Yeah,
how bad it was, but we thought it was so cool because it was something novel, and
yeah.
looking back at it, I'm like, how did I watch that?
Still great.
And
One of the better storylines of any of the Transformer
100%,
series and everything.
100%,
So it's awesome.
So for me, it jumped from G1 to Beast Wars to the Prime universe. I love Prime
Yeah,
universe, like
that's a good one
pretty
too.
much second to only G1 for me. I don't know
One of my
about you
favorite
guys, but
Starscreams. Starscream
yeah.
is so Starscream is so Starscream in Prime. I mean, he just is so he's so evil. He's so just just swiveling, just swine.
Oh
He's
yeah.
just he was
Yep.
evil. He was evil in that one.
It
That was a good Starscream.
is very, very much. I think they nailed the casting, they nailed the
Yeah,
voices, they nailed just the emotional aspect of it. There's a big emotional aspect of Prime that I believe that really draws people in. It's just not just the animation and the grittiness and stuff like that, but I think like watching it over and over, like you really can adhere to the emotional elements of
yeah.
it, and I absolutely love it.
Just cool characters. I mean, Bulkhead. You got Wheeljack.
Oh yeah,
RC. Ratchet. Love people. A lot of people love Ratchet on that Prime and everything. The Megatron. Starscream. The
yeah,
Viacons. And stuff. It's just great. Some great characters and everything. A lot
really,
of people.
really.
I like animated too. A lot of people don't like animated, but animated
Animated
was
is cute and fun and goofy and funny as hell, and
big
you know,
chins
uh,
and stuff and everything.
oh yeah, 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 yeah. Like
But that was my
Ultra.
first. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Go
Sorry,
on.
Ultra Magnus has always traditionally been one of my, let's say, top 5 Autobots. And in animated, I just wanted to slap them all the time. Like, who are you and why are you
Yeah.
like this?
But see, animated was my first. So my first convention I ever went to was BotCon 2008,
Mhm.
and that's when animated started to come out. So they had David Kay, they had Bumper Robinson, which voiced Bumblebee. They had the female that voiced Siri, I think it was, and I think they had another one. They say that was my first BotCon. And I remember, really it was awesome. Was the first 1 and 2 waves were released early for
Mhm.
BotCon. So they were around that. It was in Cincinnati, Ohio. So around that area, the BotCon toys were released. The first series and the second series. And I remember going after BotCon, we going back home, and right when we crossed over to Kentucky, we stopped at a Kmart, and they had all the Wave 1 and 2. So I got to get all of it, but I wasn't doing reviews back then. But it would have been cool if I did. because I would have been one of the first because I got the whole wave 1 and 2, and it was so awesome. And I
That's cool.
remember getting all them for what they were back then, like $10 or anything. But people were going, scalping them around that little area, and they were charging 25, $30, which is what they're charging now
Right.
for deluxes. But they were charging that for like Optimus Prime and stuff and everything. I just remember, and I didn't buy it because I was going to wait. But I remember stopping at Kmart and got all wave 1 and 2. I was so freaking excited, man. It's
That's
awesome.
cool,
And it was my
man.
first BotCon too, so it was a great experience. And just to get that stuff, it was pretty cool. So
That's cool. Yeah. My first BotCon was with my daughter, fortunately, because I mean, she surprised me, to be honest. We were planning a family vacation
which one?
and she was whispering on the steps, I remember, with her mom. And I had no clue that this was in her heart, like she wanted to do something like this. So her mom and her were whispering about it. And then I was like, what's
Yeah.
going on? They're like, well, have her talk to you about it. And she talked to me about it. I said, absolutely, we're going. And we're going to make it a road trip. And we're going to do a toy hunt because you want to do a toy hunt.
Nice.
And I'm like, I
Oh
couldn't
yeah, that was
imagine.
the Fort Wayne, the Fort Wayne, right?
Fort Wayne,
That
Indiana.
was the
Yep.
Fort Wayne one.
We had such a blast. And like for me, like as much as I felt like a kid having fun, I think for me to experiencing, personally speaking, with my daughter
So,
and just vicariously through her eyes and her questioning and her observations and what she took away from it was like a whole other level and layer. And I was like, I couldn't have asked for anything more, like as head spinning as the con itself was, she's like, can we go to this hotel room? They have this. Can we go to that showroom? And can we, like she was so,
yeah.
and she met so many people and she still chats with some of them. And, like you
Oh, that's
make real
awesome.
friends there too. Yeah. 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 So
Okay.
definitely cool times.
Is my I'm sorry if my auto skipping. It's a lot better than it was before. I'm sorry if it is. I'm hoping that y'all can understand me or understand their Deemer and everything. I'm sure his is better than mine. So once they would, hey, thank you for everybody stopping in, coming in and watching. I really appreciate that. So we talk about. So you were just talking about favorite character. Ultramax being your top 5. Who is your favorite character?
Nemesis,
I mean, who do
and
you like?
down.
You have to collect it.
Is always has
Who's
always been
that?
my favorite character. Nemesis Prime.
Okay, Nemesis Prime. Nice.
Yep.
Okay.
Nemesis. I love the duality and the conflict that exists in Nemesis. And, for like a lot of my growing up, I felt like Nemesis was me in a cartoon form, to some degree. The internal, like, the emotional struggles and his whys perceived through his lens. Not that I was, evil or bad or doing anything wrong, but like inside, like there was a lot of
Yeah.
emotion there. Right? Like there was a lot I could resonate and understand and have compassion for the anti-hero character in that kind of environment. So I've always been a big Nemesis fan. What about
So
you?
who? Well, let me ask you. Well, before I answer my question, who is more evil, Shattered Glass Optimus Prime or Nemesis Prime?
Ooh.
I've seen people ask that question. I'm thought about. It's like it would probably have to be Shattered Glass because they know. I wonder. I know what's Shattered Glass line because that's like I said that my first BotCon was the Shattered Glass box set and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But I wonder if they knew they were Autobots before, or I wonder if they were Autobots before they turned bad to Decepticon. I guess I don't know. I always thought when somebody asked that question before, I was like, I guess they would probably have to be Shattered Glass Prime.
Shattered Glass, I imagine, if the assumption is they didn't know before, right?
That's true. If they didn't know, okay. So I don't know for sure if they did know or they didn't know. I haven't read.
I'm not sure either, but if the assumption is they didn't know, then I would definitely say Shattered Glass, probably.
Okay, I was wondering. I've seen that question asked before and everything. But my favorite character is Starscream by far. And it's funny as my wife asked me a couple nights ago, why do I like Starscream? And I thought about it, and I've thought about it before. It's like, well, it's not because it's not because his character, because he's not really a great character. I mean, he's not an ideal character for you to follow, basically, because he's basically just, he's a backstabber. If Megatron trips, he's the leader of the Decepticons and everything. But what really was the reason why I like Starscream, because when I was a kid, I would just, put my arms out, and I would fly, act like I'm flying around like it's a jet.
Oh, that's
and
cool.
I always just liked the jet mode. I always thought his alt mode was really cool. But like I said, his character is not the greatest to to be to follow. But I just like the way Starscream looks, and just some of the stuff they do with Starscream. Some of the characters, like Prime and stuff, and some of the statues. He just looks so freaking awesome, and that's just why.
I think stylistically, there's a lot of great renditions in toy form and art form for Starscream because I think there's a lot of creative leeway that the artists have taken or the designers have taken throughout
Yeah.
time, which lends itself to exactly what you're describing. Like you want to fly away, pick a form, pick one of his, renditions.
I like the Sleekers, and there's my favorite Decepticons. Now, my favorite Autobot team is going to be the Dinobots. And my boy Quest, he just said he hates Wheelie. I don't really hate Wheelie. I don't. I mean, I don't know. I mean, he's annoying to some people, but I don't mind him. I always joke around. I was like, I want a Titan class Wheelie. I want a leader class or a commander class Wheelie. I think it'd be freaking awesome. I know nobody's going to do it, but it would be awesome. But I know a lot of people. So let me ask you, who do you hate? Who's the character do you hate, or the toy, or whatever your character?
This might sound dumb, but for me, like growing up, I hated Teletran 1 for the very one reason that they revived the Decepticons first. So
oh yeah, they would have done that.
I had a huge hate in my heart for Teletran, sending the little satellite up and fixing, getting the Decepticons up first. So
yeah,
I think for me,
well, what Transformer character other than the Teletran? I don't really hate anything, but who do you? Who's the character you don't care for?
If I had to hate a character, ooh, we're not talking toy, we're talking character, right? So
yeah. I mean, there's a lot of toys I can name off and I can hate, but yeah, character wise, I guess I don't know. That's a hard question too, because
that is a hard question. You're putting me on the spot here, Deluxe. Who do I hate? Who do I despise?
Just like really annoys you or something. I guess Willie would annoy you. I mean, I guess I don't hate Bumblebee because I get everything in Bumblebee, but I don't know. There's just some better characters than Bumblebee.
I think Cliffjumper is more annoying than Bumblebee. If we're talking about,
yeah, it was him and was it Braun? I guess no, was it Huffer? Huffer always acted tough and everything, but they were little mini bots. They had the Napoleon character or syndrome, whatever it's called. Yeah, complex. So it's always the mini bots that were kind of just. But my favorite mini bot was Warpath. I remember as a kid I had Warpath. And I carried him around all the time. He was a little tank, and and I just carried him around all the time. And I remember him. So he's always been my favorite mini bot. He's one of my favorite Autobots too, as well. But he didn't act like he was I guess tough and everything. Power Glide was pretty cool. I got overall the mini bots were really really good. I don't think there was a really bad mini bot, but Bumblebee just got I don't know. He was just kind of weird sometimes. I don't know. Maybe the movie maybe it was the movies that. Because he couldn't speak, but that wasn't Bumblebee's fault.
So let me ask you a question. Who do you think is, in your opinion, like an underrated character?
Oh, God dang, put me on the spot too. Underrated. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of people do these tier things, tier A tiers, B tiers, character wise, you got Prime, Grimlock, Bumblebee, then you got, Jazz and stuff and everything. You got the C tiers, which are like maybe Hoist and Trailbreaker, stuff like, I don't want to say the C, but they're down there, there's just everything. Man, underrated character. Golly, that's a hard one. I don't know if I can answer that. I'm trying to think, especially for G1.
Yeah, like for me, I'll tell you, for me, it's Cup.
Okay.
Cup, because I think they kind of they didn't respect him like the old wise man, the hardened, experience kind of, so for me, I had a soft spot for him because I felt like he felt neglected, they just kind of put him in the back row kind of thing. And I'm like, man, you guys could probably learn so much from his wisdom and his experience. And, so for
maybe
me,
Omega. I think Omega Supreme might have been because he was so he was one of the last defenses for Autobots, but for some reason he always got his ass kicked. in the G1 characters. I don't know why. It was always he always got something wrong. He got blasted, and then he was out. He had to get worked on. It's like for being the last defense. Your last defense can to help. You're kind of getting you're getting your ass whooped a lot. And I always felt weird why he always got his ass kicked. Which I liked Omega. I still like Omega.
Oh, me too. I love his name, by the way. Like he's always had one of my favorite names for a character. Omega Supreme. Like, like you need to be shaking a little bit when you hear his name coming through.
What's that?
His name was, to me, like probably one of the best character names for the Transformers. Like when you hear Omega Supreme, like
ooh, it had a presence and stuff definitely. And everything. And the toy was cool too. It's motorized and everything. I mean, and I love New Age. They did that too as well. But just like every time he was on the screen, it's like he was getting his ass whooped, and I just didn't understand. I don't understand why it was, but oh well. But I would probably say that was a good question. There's some unrated, any underrated characters, but Cup was a good one. I could see why you would pick Cup. Yeah, that's a good one. I don't know, but that's a good question. I'm sorry, go on.
No. I was saying, I totally agree. Oh, and Event, with Jetfire, I'd have to agree too. He's definitely underrated in my book too, and he's also in the top 5. Jetfire.
But he only had 2 episodes? Was it 2 episodes? They should have put him in some more episodes or anything. Who do you think's over? I mean, Optimus Prime is one of my favorites. Maybe it's just because we get an Optimus Prime like every other week. It's like I know it's their bread and butter, and I understand that. I know, but I get every Prime that comes out just about. I know, but I'm kind of sick of Prime once in a while. It's just like when I do my news segments, I'm like, I know I'm going to talk about a Prime. I know him or a Megatron or even Starscream, Soundwave. The top for Dinobot. I'm sorry, for Decepticons. And then with Autobots, you got, which I don't think Jazz gets enough love.
I agree. He's in my top 5. Jazz.
Yeah. And that Bingo Toys, Jeezy, he's a really great. He's one of my top.
Oh, yeah, I got him behind me here. Yeah, I love that.
I mean, and I don't think he gets enough love. I mean, oh, man, have you got your Stray Fin yet from Bingo Toys yet?
Not yet, no.
Hopefully, I should be this week. I should be getting mine.
Hopefully, that'd be cool.
Man, I've heard some really good things about that guy too. I'm excited for the Technobots. It's a Technobot war now too as well. I can't believe that people are getting excited for the Technobots because they were kind of one of the like B characters for combiners.
Yeah.
So because I guess they came a little later than what the original ones were. So
that's true too. Yeah.
But Jazz, I don't think gets enough love. What else doesn't get enough love? Can't think of enough. Maybe like Thundercracker and Skywarp because of Starscream.
Yeah.
I love Skywarp's color combo. His purple and black. I love that deco. It's a great. Deco.
I'm more on the Seeker side. I'm more on like the Acid Storm and Sunstorm. Sunstorm. Yeah.
Sunstorm. So I always get confused. So you got the Welcoming Crew, then you have the Rainmakers. They're different. So I think that is it Acid Storm and Sunstorm. Are they not the Rainmakers? Are they part of the Rainmakers?
Yep.
Okay. Then you got the Welcoming Crew, which was similar colors to them, I guess, but then they were like on the first episode. Then I don't think you ever saw them again.
And then that was it, right?
I think it was. I think that was Welcoming Crew, but I don't know. It's weird. It's weird, but yeah, I love all the Seekers. I like the Red Wing now.
The Red Wing's cool, yeah. Red Wing's cool. I like his colors are super cool. Super cool.
You got the black and gold one. I mean, there's so many colors. Oh, Make Toys is doing
every color combination possible.
I swear to God, Make Toys. I know you're watching, even though I know they're not. But Make Toys, damn it, would you put out your damn highbrow? The rest of your headmasters. I'm so sick of seeing a new Seeker every freaking week. Just put out the highbrow, put out a Brainstorm, or I wish Fans Toys, they showed a Chrome Dome like 5 years ago. So I thought they was going to, because we had the Decepticon headmasters from Fans Toys. I need the rest of the Autobots. And like I said, they showed Chrome Dome like 5 years ago, and they haven't shown anything since. They just showed renders, which Fans Toys does that. If X Trans bots or somebody else shows something, just like they did the Technobots, and Fans Toys like, oh look, we got our Technobots too. It's like, oh my god, just put out the rest of your crap that you showed 5 years ago. Put out that damn Fort Max that you showed. I mean, come on now. But that's Fans Toys. That's whatever they do. They do what they got to do. But yeah, but I don't know where I was leading with that. But let me ask you this: what is your favorite what's your favorite company? I mean, you could Hasbro in there. Who's your favorite company that you have to get usually everything from them?
Everything. I don't know that there's a company that I want everything from.
Not X Transbots? Golly.
Well, I'm so over XTB has been like for the past couple of years or so. It's like, oh no, I love their designs. Look, I'll give them credit where credit's due, right?
Yeah.
Their designs, their paint, phenomenal. But when it comes to the execution of the toy itself, it's like transform, break, transform, break, transform, break. So
well, let me say this. So I have to, a lot of people crap on X Transbots for that, and that's a good reason. But we are getting stuff that we are not getting, like the Omnibots. We're getting, the junior head Target Masters. We got Scoop. Hopefully, they may do the rest of them. So they're giving, they gave us Punch, Double Punch. They gave us Runabout, Run Amok. So I don't see other companies do those anytime soon. So at least we're getting that. Now, the only thing is to say that about, like, the good thing about Fans Toys is they come in bot mode. So you can just take them out of the box and put them up there. So if you do reviews, you just put them up there. Now, with the X Transbots, the thing is they come in alt mode. So you have to transform them.
Right.
So it's like, if X Transbots would just put their stuff in bot mode and people didn't have to transform them, that'd be good to go. They would be good to go. They wouldn't have to worry about anything. You got to transform them. Then people find the faults.
Yeah, no, you make a very fair argument. And I used to argue like back, I don't know how many years ago, but like if they would stick to just being a design company and have somebody else actually execute the manufacture of it, then I think that could be like a match made in heaven. So I think because, like I said, I think they're excellent designers from the design aesthetic. I think they have excellent like paint quality for the most part. I think their execution in the transformation and quality control of the toy itself, unfortunately, I get bit every time for me personally. And that's where the sour taste in my mouth comes from. So
also their Constructicons did come in bot mode. Well, that's okay. Well, see, but they're like their Omnibots and the Punch Counter Punch, their card modes and Runabout and Run Amok, they all came in alt mode. And I've heard some really good things about the Constructicons. I didn't go in on them because I have so many damn Devastators. But I've heard they've been actually probably better than what the Fans Toys have, which I'm going out on Fans Toy because they just look so good in bot mode. But like I said, if X Transbots came all in, bot form, I don't think a lot of people would have any issue with them because they wouldn't have to transform them. Because I know a lot of people get Fans Toys and they're so, most of the time they're just so difficult to transform. They're just like, nope, put it on the shelf. You're good to go. They don't have to worry.
Well, I mean, I'm guilty of that. I love Fans Toys, their aesthetic and overall quality, right? And there are like I have the Ultra Magnus back here, and he is probably one of my favorite of the Fans Toy stuff, but he is also my biggest nightmare in the transformation of Fans Toys. And but you know what? His design is bar none probably one of the best as far as the Ultra Magnus goes. And I've grown to love the let's call it the patented Fans Toy squeak, right? When you're transforming them or moving them, I kind of need to have that squeak now. I can't like have a, and if I'm glutton for punishment, then I'll grab one of the Fans Toys and I'll start transforming it here on my desk when I need to like vent or take something out on something, I've got Galvatrons over here back behind me. I've got, the Jetfire, which I still haven't taken out of its box yet. So that'll be fun. And but Ultra Magnus, he was the bane of my every bone in my body when I first started transforming him. And but I love him. I have a love-hate relationship on that element with Fans Toys. But I mean, also credit where credit's due. They can design really great stuff too when it comes to this.
Well, both of them. I mean, Fans Toys and X Transpots, their paint and their materials are just most of the time are pretty good. And I
Mhm.
always say that if X Transpots could just just do a little more, they could be just as good as Fans Toys or even better. Because like I said, they're
Yeah,
giving us stuff that we don't have in our MP collection,
and that's
and
absolutely fair. Yep.
yeah. So I mean, X-Trans, but I don't know. Then you got Bingo Toys coming along. DX9 is coming with they started off again. Um, they used to be a big company years ago with with all the other MP stuff. Then they went away a little bit, and now they're coming back with they got Prowl and they got Sideswipe and everything, which I didn't really like their Prowl that much. Sideswipe was pretty good. I think they
Hmm.
got some others. I think they got some others coming too. I think they showed Blue Streak, maybe. I don't know. But anyways, don't you mean next? I mean, I haven't really had that bad of experience. I mean, the transformation. Luckily, knock on wood, I haven't really broken anything. The only thing I did broke one off of, I broke the door or something off of Run Amok, and I've had some decent. I mean, I haven't had any trouble really. Like I said, the transformations are kind of, especially the feet, are usually wonky. But I really haven't broken anything. But I've heard some really bad stuff about everything.
Yeah, I
So
feel I got cursed from XTB, to be honest, because literally just about everything I got from them would break during transformation, and I hated that fact because, like I said, I genuinely love their designs. They are probably one of the best ones on the design side of things, honestly.
yeah,
It's just the execution of putting it to a toy that transforms without damage. For me, it seems like I just got enough curse that I was just like, I can't do this anymore. So
yeah, that's true. But I still get I've heard some good things about their Galvatron, and I have a Galvatron. I have the first Fans Toy Galvatron. I had the DX9 one. And now I may get the damn X Transbox Galvatron now. I don't know. I mean, it's just like I don't need another damn Galvatron. I really don't. I wish I would have got the Fans Toys 2.0, and I'd be done with the Galvatron. But I may get the Galvatron from X Transbot. So
well,
I
I'd
don't
be
know.
curious if you get it, how it ends up for you, because it is a great design, and I love the fact that everything's built into that one. Like I'm not one that particularly cares if there's a few things that are parts forming or whatever, if it is design appropriate and it's really an additive rather than a detractor. But to
Yeah,
see that gun just fold up and in and out was kind of cool. That
yeah.
I don't know if you've seen it or not, like how they transformed him, but it's pretty cool. I'm really impressed with that transformation.
Well,
I find it.
I did. Well, he was what they showed some pictures of him in his alt mode, and his hands were just hanging off of him like he just hugging himself. And I was like, I think that was mistransformed. I think they showed some other pictures where they showed the hands were gone and stuff. So
Okay.
I'm not sure about that. But it took 10 years to get the damn thing out. I mean, they showed that off like in 2016. I don't know what was taking so long for that to come out. I don't know. It was
Mhm.
Galvatron. I mean, whatever. But yeah, I like Kane toys too.
Yeah, I
Big
love
bot. I
Kane.
do too. I like Kane toys. They poke the hell out of me, but I still like some Kane toys. I've been deep with the Chibi stuff, the Laser Cat. I just got my Bruticus, and I love it. I'm
Oh
excited.
man.
They're doing all the combiners. I just they shipped off my Megatron, the Beast Wars Megatron. I'm excited for that. He looks so
Yep.
freaking cute. I can't wait. So I'm loving the Laser Cat toys and stuff. So man,
Yep. You're the again for introducing me to things, Deluxe. Credit to you. Chibi was never on my radar
I
whatsoever.
don't think it was for anybody. Really, be honest.
And then when
They
like you
just came out
started
of left
doing
field.
them, I was like, I wasn't even sold on it on first. I'm like, what is this style? Like I don't
Yeah.
get it. It just didn't click with me. And then the more like I saw you do chibi, and I think you're the only one of the reviewers I watched that actually does chibi. I'm like, you know what? Screw it. These guys are kind of cute. Let
I
me
mean, they
try to
kind
get
of
them.
yeah, they just came out of nowhere. Like they came out with I think Prime was one of their first ones from one of the Bayverse or one of the movies. I think it was one of the Bayverse movies or something. And like I said, it just popped up. It just had a big old head and a little small little body with little arms. So I was like, oh, that looks interesting. So I ordered it. they were cool. Magic Square started. They have a couple. They did some of the Finn bots. They did RC and some of those, and then Chromia, and they did. But they're different materials. Like Magic Square has that kind of a softer plastic. Just like that. And then Laser Cat Toy just started showing off a bunch of stuff like, combiners and stuff. They showed off the Predator King. I was like, wow, that looks interesting. And I got him, and that was just awesome. Then they did the Dinobots. I don't care about Dinobots combining, but it's a solid combiner. I have to give it that.
That's a good
one.
Do that.
Yeah. And then Bruticus. Yeah. Then they got Superion come in, and then they just showed off. They showed off their, I think, Devastator. I think the Train Bots, and they're doing the Abominus. And they also got a Bumblebee coming off from the last movie that came out, the Beast. What's the name of that movie? Not Rise of the Beast. What's the movie? The last Transformer movie came out with Unicron.
Was it? That's not The Last Night, right?
No, not The Last Night. My mind is just. I have a brain fart. I know somebody will say it in the chat.
Say it in chat, I'm sure. Hello Kitty.
It was Rise of the Beast. I think it was Rise of the Beast. Yeah, Rise. I was right. My bad. I was right. So, anyways, they got a Bumblebee coming from them from Rise of the Beast. They got that, and I don't know. It's just weird. It just came out of nowhere and just chibi. Just like everything's chibi now that I get it. There you go, Rise of the Beast. I knew it was right.
Yep. They're cute. And I remember like when you started doing it, I was like, "What is this?" And I went to my daughter. I go, "Hey, do you know what chibi is?" And she was like, "Oh, Dad, I love chibi. They're so cute." And like she already knew what it was. And I'm like, "Let's talk," like. And then I was like, "Okay, I'll get one and see how it goes."
Yeah, I didn't know what it was either. And I just, I call it Beast. The Beast Wars Megatron's adorable. I'm sure they're going to do some other stuff. I think they got a Primal coming too. Yeah, I got a pre-order for Primal. I'm sure. Man, they do Waspinator and some of those other characters. That would be so freaking
You know
awesome.
what? I don't care what they do because they really found their niche, and I talked about that in one of my last videos. For the one that we just put together here,
Bruticus.
and Bruticus. Thanks for Broody, and I'm just like everyone and I just found my Predator King one, so I was really excited because I thought I lost that in the midst of all the boxes I have. I found him. I was so excited, but it was like. When the Dinobots came out, I was like, this is pretty cool. And I'm not opposed to Dinobots combining. I know I'm in a very small group, so please don't hate on me too much, guys, but I am. And when they came together, I'm like, this actually looks really badass. They did such a great job. And for me, my copy, everything is nice and tight and holds well, and there's no issues whatsoever. I got a really clean copy, so I feel really lucky with that. And then when Broody came, like everything was perfect. There wasn't I didn't have any there was a couple really tight things, but then I just just kind of a little bit out. And
some
then
of the tolerances, especially
fine.
the hips. The hips, I think.
Yeah. Well, for me, it was the heads. They were ridiculously tight. So to get a 3/6 or to swivel it to side, I really had to put some strength in it, hoping and praying I wouldn't break it. But it worked. It worked its way out, and I'm like, this feels even more solid as a combiner and individual pieces than the Volcanicus set did, right? And so now I'm excited to go and dive into the Predator King set to see is there a pattern of quality control improvement from set to set to set, and what comes next I'm super excited about. So they found their niche, they're smacking it around like it's their little bitch, and I love it. I'm here for it.
I am too. Every time I see something new from Laser Cats, I'm like, yes, I'm excited.
Right. And I'm like, thanks, DB. This is your fault.
But yeah, for me, it was the hips on some of them were really, tolerances were really tight on some of the areas. But overall, they're just a little fun, easy to transform. There's a little bit, a little something to get, especially with the onslaught from, Bruticus. The legs were kind of a little pain in the tank to kind of get those because you had to push it through the leg, push through to go all that.
It took me a while to discover you actually had to push it through because I'm like, why isn't this what the diagram is showing? Right?
Exactly. Exactly. So I had to watch a video because I couldn't get. I was looking at the instructions. I'm just like, how the hell did he do that, or how does this happen? And then I watched it. I watched the video. I was like, Oh,
Right.
okay. So you got to push it all the way through because it's real small. You don't have much material to work with, and so you have to
Exactly.
kind of lift up everything. And so yeah, so I got kind of weird about that. But some of the Vortex was a little challenging to transform a little bit because it has so much steps and everything. But
Yeah. You had
overall,
more.
overall fun. Predaking is really good. I don't think that I don't know if they. I want to say they stayed consistent from Predaking to the Dinobots to Bruticus. I don't know if they really improved anything, but they haven't declined on anything either. So they
Okay.
stay consistent to me.
That's
Some
cool.
people may have noticed some different things, but for me, I really haven't noticed them just making leaps and bounds. Like oh yeah, Predaking to Bruticus. Bruticus is so much better. It's like they're about the same.
Mm.
They're both great, but they really hasn't just done anything spectacular to be different from each other. So,
Yeah.
but I'm excited for the. I'm sure that we'll get a Leo Kaiser. They
Yeah.
just showed Raiden, so I'm sure we'll definitely get a Leo. I'm sure they're going to do all of the. Oh, Leo Kaiser has already been shown. Okay,
Oh, that's cool.
I forget. I keep forgetting how many they've shown already. But yeah, they just showed Devastator. They just showed a color render of their Abominus. So that should be probably. I think Superion's the next one because they showed some prototype pics of those. So I'm waiting. So that will probably come out in a couple of months or anything. But everything. So, but man, this has been fun. Been
This
on
has
for an
been
hour.
awesome.
I don't
I
know.
know.
I think
If
we're
we
going to make this a weekly thing. Hopefully, people will grab onto this, and we're going to try to do this on Sundays. I guess we may
Yeah.
change up dates. I don't know for sure.
Yeah, if it
Sundays
works
are
for
usually good
everybody,
for us.
I'm good with
And
this
everything.
time and date kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and hopefully my internet holds up. I mean, people one event
Keep up.
said that it was kind of lagging a little bit. It sounded like I was drunk or something. I don't drink, but I do slur a little bit. But hopefully the audio was good, and you could understand, what we're saying and everything. But yeah, I think we're going to try to do this, every week and everything. But I'm going to start kickstarting my around 30s. I'm going to try to get more people on. If anybody wants to come on, I can get some friends of mine that want to come on and chit chat. I want to start doing that as well. What do you got coming up, Deemer? What do you got down the pipeline? As far as
So down the pipeline, in one of my videos, I started talking about. So my channel is basically like tech, toys, video games, gadgets, and stuff like that. So I started out with the Transformers just because that was the boxes I started pulling out and
Mhm.
thought, okay, let me start here as a jumping point. And when I reached out to my clients and customers and it just started flying after, like the first couple of videos, I was like, okay, let me just do a couple more, right? And then I'll start
Yeah.
bringing in like the tech stuff, and then I'll
Mhm.
start doing like, interviews with like people that are execs in the industries of, what I do as far as like I have a over 30-year background in tech and IT and AI and stuff like that. So I already have an interview lined up from a professional and executive at Google, and that'll be
Oh
coming up.
wow.
And so we'll be doing some tech stuff, some gadget stuff, and hopefully some Motu stuff. I don't know how many of you guys are Masters of the Universe fans.
Yeah.
Be doing some of that. And hopefully I can align with my daughter who is also a gamer, so we can do some gaming streams or something like that. So I will be
Nice.
expanding and branching into the other elements of what I have started this channel for. But I will
Awesome.
always have Transformers going on. Don't worry, because I have a ton in boxes around me, and my wife is like, "Look, get your shit together." Like, I built like 6 shelves or something like that, 8 shelves, and so I'm reviewing them so I can put them up in the shelves and organize and stuff like that. So there's a lot of fun stuff coming up, some Star Wars stuff as well.
Nice.
So, that's what I have in my pipeline as far as my growth pattern and trajectory coming up. So,
Nice. Well, I got I keep saying this. All my stuff is in boxes as well.
mm,
Because I moved finally. We finally settled in. I'm hoping to get my collection up here. My collection is like 2.5 hours away from me. The rest of my collection is. I'm hoping one of these days I get my collection up here and I'll start. Like I said, I got these 3 shelves right here. I'm going to put my 3.0 and my Yellow Park stuff in these, displays behind me. Then when everything else will go upstairs. Hopefully one day I'll start building my shelves and start doing that because I would love to get all my collection. I haven't had all my collection out in about 5 or 6 years. So they've been put up and everything. I'm going to do reviews like I always do. I'll put news out. I'm going to do my news on tomorrow. Probably I was going to do it today, but I just didn't want to do it. So I'll put the news out tomorrow. And just like I said, I want to start my around 30 and everything. But I just want to thank you. I think this was a cool start and everything. I want to thank it's been great getting to know you the last couple months, and everything.
Likewise.
And
thank you.
I hope that we get to do this more often and everything, and maybe we get some other people on, or who knows? I don't know.
Maybe let's have some fun. This has been fun, and let's keep things.
My internet's got to hold up first of all. I barely got with 2 people on, so I may need to kickstart it with the 2 gig or anything. I got 1 gig right now. I may need to kick it up for 2 gigs so I can start having more people on and everything. But
sounds good, man.
But I want to thank everybody that came in. Like I said, this was kind of a starting point. Hopefully, we'll get better. As the weeks go along. I don't know. We don't even have a name yet. I just said hanging out with Deemers. that's what it was. We don't have a name yet. So hopefully we'll figure out something out. Kind of make this a little podcast thing, and we'll go from there.
Absolutely.
But
great.
Like I said, all his information is in the description. Definitely go check him out and everything. And I guess we'll see y'all next Sunday. And thank y'all for coming. And y'all have a great rest of y'all's week and everything. Happy President's Day if y'all celebrate it. I'm off tomorrow, so if you're off tomorrow, freaking awesome. All right. Y'all take care, and we'll talk to y'all next Sunday.
Take care, guys. Thanks so much. Appreciate you all.
Let's see if I get an end stream. Yes, I do.